How many of you guys actually know what an estate plan is? Anybody? Yeah. An estate plan is essentially a plan for what happens when you die. And last Friday, Katie and I went into our lawyer's office in Scottsdale, which is not too far from here, and we just signed our estate plan. Katie and the lawyer worked together for a couple months and got it all together. And after we went in there and signed our plan for death, it got me thinking a lot about life cycles. And almost everything in life, guys, it has a start, it has a growing period, and then eventually it dies. And businesses are no different. And over the last decade, I've gone through quite a few of these life cycles in business. I've had many businesses that started, many businesses that grew, and I've had businesses that died. And today, I'm going to walk you through 6 life cycles of a cleaning business. Okay. And most importantly, why businesses die in each cycle. I'm curious. I was having a conversation with Lucas a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about death. And we're talking about what happens after death. And I'm just curious, like, what do you guys think happens after death? What do you believe happens to your conscious after death? I think a lot of people believe in God, believe that they will meet God after death. And after we got back from our estate signing on Friday, Katie went and spent some time in God's house. She went to a church conference on last Friday night. And our oldest daughter, Toby, she was out with friends, which left just myself and my 7-year-old, Lainey, to fend for ourselves for the night. And so after dinner, we went on a walk and we watched Little Rascals. When you guys seen Little Rascals? I got a pickle.
Got a pickle.
Yeah. That's the one, man. That's the one, right? Alfalfa. So good. So good. And then after we finished Little Rascals, we read some books right before bed. And when Lady was younger, when she was, probably 2, 3, 4, I would read to her every single night. And then it's transitioned now that Katie tucks her in, hangs out every single night. So Katie was gone. I was like, let me read to you, Lady. And our books, our series that we have a ton of books is the Bernstein Bears. And the book we read on Friday night was Forgot Their Manners. And what I found interesting was that when Mama Bear was coming up with punishments for the cubs for not using their manners, they all seemed to have a common theme. Clean the cellar, dust the shelves, beat the rug. And I started to realize that most of us have been taught this, whether it be consciously or subconsciously, that cleaning is a punishment. How many of you guys actually grew up wanting to be a cleaner?
Anybody?
Yeah. If you guys were like me, I was taught, it was made to believe that I should be a doctor or a lawyer, a highly paid specialist. But like right now, like I wouldn't change places with any of those people. No, not even for a second. In fact, I see a cleaning business as an amazing opportunity. And the reason why is because we get to charge people to avoid punishment. That's valuable. That's not going away as we go into the future. And the neat thing about cleaning homes is that they get dirty
And again.
and again, which means that the people who pay for cleaning once, they tend to pay for it consistently. And reoccurring revenue, guys, that is valuable. And so if you can figure out how to go to the store and buy vacuum and some supplies, you can be a cleaner. If you can figure out how to set up an LLC and a bank account, you can call yourself a cleaning business owner. And today, guys, I'm going to walk you through the stages of how you can take a cleaning business from 0 to over $100,000 a month. But before we get to $100,000 a month, let's talk about the 0 to $10,000 a month, which is life cycle number 1. Kitty, what does it look like when you're in this cycle of a cleaning business?
I love to call this cycle survival. You're inexperienced in business, possibly even in cleaning, but you're a darn hard worker.
I think this is what gets most people into business is I can work hard. I think that's why a lot of people, they can get into this business. That's why there's a ton of businesses inside 0 to 10K. Right? Because even guys, even if you don't have experience in business or cleaning, like you work hard enough, and even that you are not an efficient cleaner, you're still charging people $30, $35, $40 an hour. And you're like, whoa, I didn't make that on my last job. And as long as you can show up, look presentable, your clients will love you. Why, Teddy? Why will clients love you?
Because they like dependability, reliability.
Yeah. And you just charge lower than everybody else. In this stage, your clients will refer you like crazy. Oh, and you get to be your own boss. Now, let's talk about why businesses die in this cycle. So, I have a friend, Kitty and I have a friend. His name is Stu, and he's an ER doctor. And Stu makes a lot of money. And Stu and Kate and I have become friends over the last year or so. And so much so that we've had him over for dinner a couple times. And every time that he comes over for dinner, he's always looking for how do you get out of being an ER doctor, for lack of a better expression. And the reason why Stu, for somebody who makes lots and lots of money, would want to get out of being an ER doctor is the same reason why most businesses die in this 0 to 10K stage. It's because this business is a one-man show when you're at 0 to 10K a month. You don't have a business, you have a job. And what you didn't realize when you started this business is that not only do you have to clean, but you also have to do the invoicing, the collections, the bookkeeping. Eventually, you have to learn how to do taxes and legal and insurance. Yeah. And when you actually start to include all those hours that you spend doing those things into that $30, $35, $40 an hour that you're charging, yeah, all of a sudden you're not making as much money as you think you were making. Because unlike being an employee, like you don't get paid just to show up. You don't get paid to work hard. You get paid for a result. And so the biggest reason why businesses die in this life cycle is because they actually don't have the courage to transition it from being a job to a business. And so if you happen to actually make it to $10,000 a month, congratulations. You got clients. You got a full schedule. And so Kitty, share with them what their reward looks like for making it past $10,000 a month.
We get to enter a new season, a new life cycle. Life cycle number 2, $10,000 to $20,000 a month.
Yeah. Kitty, what does this look like?
This stage is also survival. You get to make some money. Your schedule's full, but it comes at a price, and that price is all of your time. You clean all day, and then you work on your business at night, and you have no idea how to hire people. If you don't have work for them, it's too risky to hire them full time. Let's just hire them part time. Then you got part of their attention, and it's just a disaster.
Yeah, this is I'm committed to growing this as a business, except for I don't know what it actually takes to actually grow into a business stage.
Overwhelm.
Yeah. Overwhelmed. So you're informed in the 0 to 10K that like, okay, now I realize that I've turned this into a business, but you're uninformed on what it actually is going to take to turn into a business. And in 10 to 20K, that's when you get to experience what it actually takes. And so one of the biggest things that you learn in this stage is hiring. And so the reason why most businesses die in the 10 to 20K life cycle is that you as a business owner, like you don't know what good looks like. You don't know what good clients look like. You don't know what good cleaners look like. And so you just accept what you can get. What's convenient. And it's not because you're a bad person, it's just because you're inexperienced. And so, Katie, what happens to people when they do things and they don't know how to do them? What happens when they know they need to do something, but they don't know how to do it? What do?
They make the decision to do nothing.
Yeah. Now that's not a conscious decision. They're like, I'll just wait. I just got to see a little bit more. I got to have more information. Doing nothing is a decision. And for example, when a business owner sees a cleaner who's not meeting a standard, they tend to avoid communicating to the cleaner that they're not meeting the standard. Why?
It's easier today. I don't know how to communicate this. I don't want to be a bad boss. I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Yeah. And because they don't communicate all those things that Katie just said, they do something though.
Kristen just nailed it. It's easier to complain about your problems than to do something about them. So they point their finger at everybody else and they begin to tell stories of there's nobody good out there that works. Nobody does it like me. Nobody cares as much as me. Nobody's as good as me. No one will ever do it like me.
The reason businesses die in this stage is because they don't have the humility to see that they are the problem, not everyone else. If you can upgrade your beliefs and align them with your goals of growth, then you get to be able to enter the next life cycle of this business. That's okay.
Life cycle number 3. It's a larger life cycle. It's $20,000 to $40,000 a month.
Yeah. And if you guys thought the first 2 life cycles were hard, I believe this one is the hardest. Why, Katie?
Yeah, because you just aren't good at anything outside of cleaning. And you are no longer cleaning the majority of your time.
Yeah.
So you have to go back to almost the very beginning when you sucked at cleaning and you didn't know how to clean. Now you're in the office and you suck at the office. You don't know how to do anything in the office.
The example I think of that people talk about a lot is like taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. This is a great example of like you all of a sudden you're moving forward, and in order for you to go forward, in order for you to keep moving forward, you actually have to take a step back. You have to go and do something that you're no longer good at because you got good at cleaning. You got good at cleaning and managing people at the same time. And now, as Katie said, now the next transition is to no longer clean at all and just stay in the office. And when you're able to do this, then like you only get paid on the difference between what clients pay and you pay your cleaners. And when you're able to do that, like you learned a skill set that you didn't even know probably existed before this, is you can make money without working. You now can make money on leveraging other people's work. That is the first skill of business. Now, let's talk about why businesses die in the 20 to 40K stage. How many of you guys remember the 20 to 40K call that we did about a year ago, a little over a year ago? Yeah. Mr. Tyler Sowers remembers. That's because he was featured on that call. And Tyler and Kellen started Sacramento Five Star Cleaning. And within about 20 months, they got the business to 20K, right to the stage. And they had been hovering there for a little over 6 months. And they just were stagnant in this stage. And a lot of things happened at this point, but one of the things that they had done is they had paid a marketing agency to help them get leads. And the problem with paying a third-party agency to get leads is, first off, there's an investment of just spending the money for the marketing agency, which most marketing agencies are going to be somewhere between $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month just by themselves. And then on top of that, you have to pay for an additional $500 to $1,000 a week in ad spend. And the marketing agency's only goal is to get you a lead. The problem with that, even if they happen to get you leads, it's a whole nother skill to be able to convert those leads into cleans and for you to make enough money on those new cleans in order to pay for your ad spend and then pay for the marketing agency.
This section is so tough because you think that you have sales skills because all of the people who came to you before this are referrals because
Yeah.
you were cleaning, it was friends and family, people loved you. So to sell to cold traffic is not the same as selling to a referral who lands in your lap.
Yeah. And so I use that story because when you're to the stage, like I mentioned earlier, like you're gonna be bad at both marketing and sales. And what most people do, what reason most people die is because they try to outsource it. They don't want to take the time to learn it. And so until Tyler and Kellen decided to bring marketing back in-house and learn not only how to market, but also how to sell, was when their business finally, it moved past this life cycle number 3 and got out of the 20 to 40K stage. And so Tyler and Kellen, what they did is they committed. They committed to stop cleaning, which meant they made less money, which created big cash flow problems, guys. And they had to have the courage to hire cleaners before they didn't have cleans for them. Which meant
And before they even had the skill to get the cleans. Oh, it's terrifying.
And they had to go to invest money into marketing without knowing if they could, for cleaners and clients, before they knew if they could actually make the two pair up together. You guys, this is why most businesses die in this life cycle, is because you don't have a predictable system to get new clients fast enough to fill your new cleaner schedules. RIP, the majority of cleaning businesses in 20 to 40K. However, if you can install marketing and sales systems and be able to learn the skills of marketing and sales, you can actually enter into the next life cycle.
Life cycle number 4. Do you guys think it gets easier? You guys think that we're like gaining traction and progress here? Life cycle number 4 is 40 to 60K.
Also very challenging. Also challenging. Katie, what does this life cycle look like?
Yeah, 40 to 60 is hard. Hard as well. I'm waiting for the easy. Maybe we'll get there. We'll see. But what it looks like, you actually have a marketing and sales system. So you can get leads and you're learning the skill of converting those leads sometimes into booked cleans. By this time, you hopefully have a virtual assistant helping you in the office and potentially an office person. And this office person, you don't really know how to sell yet. So this office person definitely is not helping you generate more revenue on your books, but you really want them to take that off your plate because you're still not very good at it.
Yeah. How many of you guys remember the 40 to 60K call series that we did? So we did this call series. This was actually a couple years ago. This was with Jessica and Lucas. And they documented their journey from going from 40 to 60K. And the irony was They got to 60K and then they end up going backwards. And I'll tell you guys why they went backwards. And this is what Katie just referenced a little bit earlier, is because most business owners in this stage, they want to outsource sales as quickly as possible. And when businesses do that in this stage, what ends up happening is you bring somebody on who doesn't have skills, and you don't have the skill, at least have the confidence in the skill. And so you want to give them your problem rather than you solving the problem and then teaching them how to solve it and be convicted in solving the problem. And yeah, the reason why most businesses die in this stage is because the owner never gets the conviction to sell. And what ended up solving this problem in Jessica Lucas's business is Lucas jumped back into the seat. They had to get rid of the person who was in the seat. Lucas, the owner, had to jump back in the seat. He had to learn and commit to loving sales. And then by doing that, he was able to then get his business out of the 40 to 60K life cycle. And if you can do what Lucas did, and you can get the conviction to sell, then you have the framework to get your business into the next life cycle as well. Which is what, Katie?
Life cycle number 5, $60,000 to $83,000 a month. Is it going to get easier?
Yeah, I think if we think of the analogy, like you push a boulder up the hill and then all of a sudden it starts going down the hill. And even when it goes down the hill, there's still problems, but it's like you're just trying to hold it a little bit. I think that this is where we are almost to the top of the hill. 683K is, it's just the top of the hill. And so while it doesn't necessarily get any easier in the other stages, like you can see the top of the hill from here. Up to this point, you couldn't see the top of the hill. Like it seems so far away. So physically, emotionally, it's not any easier. But the difference is that like the clarity to be able to see is, yeah, higher probability you can see it now.
There is also conviction now in your own skills. It's very similar to when you were first cleaning and you didn't know how to clean. You became better at it by doing more of it. At this stage, this new life cycle stage, you are mastering sales. So your conviction in the skill that you are now going to delegate to the next office staff is enough to be able to confidently teach them.
Yeah. I think there's an expression that says you got to fake it till you make it. And I think of a lot of it like affirmations, where you're just like shouting affirmations in the mirror. You're like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. But what really creates confidence is evidence. And so by the time you get to this stage, you've grown your business to $60,000 a month. And so you do have evidence that you can grow it. And so I think that evidence, it does start to create a little bit more certainty, and certainty creates a little bit more confidence. And so I think that is the value in this stage, is that you have evidence. You can do it. Now it's no longer, can I or can I not do this? Right? Now the issue becomes, can I do it consistently? And so in this stage, like you've seen your business grow, you're actually starting to make some money for the first time ever. You have some systems. Now, the reason why businesses die here is because of inconsistency. You find yourself doing things you want to do rather than things that the business needs you to do.
Which happens to be the things that don't generate revenue.
Yeah. Yeah. Businesses that die here, they are always looking to escape the most valuable things in the business. And they end up distracting themselves with things that either their team should be doing or they should hire someone to do. Things like finding reasons or excuses to go back into the field and clean again. Or finding reasons to do work that your VA could be doing or should be doing. justifying why you shouldn't have a one-on-one with that cleaner who's creating all those problems. Being really picky about who you actually hire. Because you're really afraid of what if they make a mistake? Then you'd have to actually go talk to somebody. We don't want to do that.
They should just know.
They should just know. Yeah. Yeah. It's like one of the reasons that, or the reason why businesses die in the cycle is because they just don't have the self-control to just follow the plan.
Because this business is bigger, it takes more, and consistency gets harder at this stage because you're still doing a lot of things. You're still responsible for a lot of things at the end of the day.
Yeah. But if you guys can learn the emotional intelligence to align your actions with the needs of the business, you can make it to the next life cycle. Okay, what is life cycle number 6?
$83,000 to $100,000 a month.
This stage is actually much easier. Why? Why is it easier, Katie?
Yeah, you're no longer in the weeds of the business. So you're no longer having to test your emotional intelligence to the max every single day. It still gets tested, don't get me wrong, but you're no longer dealing with the day-to-day operations of the business.
Yeah. You guys have a team at 83 to 100K who actually handles a lot of the, all of the frontline communications. Think about some of the things that you guys absolutely dread. Cleaners calling out. Somebody else is handling it. Clients who are complaining. Someone else is handling it.
And you have a
Prospects.
little bit higher skill at this level of knowing the avatar for an office position. So your picker gets a little bit better because you've by this time gone through 50, 60, 70 cleaners. So your avatar picker is, you're developing the skill of finding the right person to help you handle all the day-to-day operations.
Yeah. And not only are you not on the front lines, which means that you're able to control your emotions, don't get as triggered as often. You also are taking home some money. Like, by this point, you're taking home 6 figures, possibly close to $200,000, which is almost $20,000 a month, guys, of take home. Like, that solves some money problems. And so this is the first stage where life is actually looking pretty good. It's feeling pretty good too.
Is it? There's some guilt here in this stage.
Yeah. And so let's talk about why businesses die here. Why don't businesses continue to grow from here? Katie just touched on it. Katie, what is one of the biggest problems that stops businesses from dying in this stage?
Yeah, I really vividly remember the stage. The first time we hit the stage, I had this overwhelming feel of like shame because I was working less than I ever have and I was making more than I ever had. So I was embarrassed to share my success. I wanted to hide it.
I think the biggest problem with this feeling of guilt is that it means that we create a lose situation. When we're broke and we're poor, we feel bad. And then when we become rich and successful, we feel bad. And if those are the two outcomes, then why the heck do we even go through with this? Why would we even sacrifice to get to life cycle number 6? Because if you do feel that guilt, you will hide your success. You will feel shame. And because you hide it, you're not able to share it. And there's nothing that feels worse than having so much to give and feeling so bad for having it that you're not willing to actually share it. All it does is create disconnect. Quite opposite of the most fulfilling thing you can have in life, which is personal connection. And so the irony to that is that whether you're broke and poor or you're rich and successful, share both. And I recommend sharing when you're broke first, so when people can still resonate with you as you do get rich and successful. And if people meet you when you're rich and successful, make sure you remind them of the times where you went through life cycle number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And it's what will give you the confidence to not feel guilty. Because, you guys, in all life cycles, you must go through each of these stages. You don't get to skip stage 1, stage 2, 3, 4, 5, and you just get to have life cycle number 6. You guys just get to have freedom, both financially and time.
If we could skip it, wouldn't we all be there?
And so it's just a reminder of, you don't feel bad for people because they're not there yet. You actually show them what's possible when you're willing to actually go through these cycles. You're willing to go through the pain of each cycle. And also have the confidence to know that, like, the reason why they don't have the time freedom, money freedom that you do is because they haven't gone through the cycles. And I think that leads us to the next problem, why businesses die in this stage, is because they do get comfortable. They get comfortable because you as a business owner, like, your needs are now met. Like, most people can live a really good life on $200,000 a year. And so if we understand that in order for us to grow, like, we have to sacrifice, like, why would someone sacrifice anymore if you already have it? And so how you can solve both these problems at the same time is for you to stop worrying about your needs and now transition it to, how do you help other people achieve what you just achieved? And so what solves both these problems is your comfortability is no longer about you anymore, and now your growth is about your team. It's about the other people around you. Because I tell you what, life is much more fun, much more fulfilling when you have other people who are also successful. If you're the only successful person, you have no one to relate to, you have no one to talk to. And so you can help your team become successful, which will also help you with this guilt of, hey, I did this. Let me show you what I just did for 5 cycles. And now let me show you how you can get a piece of this and how you can start to help the business continue to grow. And so you can actually make more money and get more time freedom as well. And so the guilt goes away when you realize what you have done to get there. And then also you have a path to help the next person do what you just did. Pull them up. But you can only pull them up if you continue to push yourself to the next level. We can solve both guilt and comfort by understanding that this is not about you anymore. This is about you helping the people around you. If you want to be grateful, you don't show with your words, you show with your actions. Don't just say you're grateful, show you're grateful. Continue to do the work. Continue to push. And the truth, guys, is the reason why businesses die in this stage is because people, they only focus on themselves. They get selfish. And because the people around them realize that they can't win, only the owner can win, they leave, which ends up putting you as the owner back in the seat again. So now you just lost a little bit of your freedom. The formula to get wealthy, guys, the formula to get out of the stage and continue to push past $100,000 is to just help more people. And the formula to get wealthy is directly correlated to how many lives you impact and how impactful you impact their lives. I want you guys to think about, what stage are you in right now? Maybe there's people on here who are like, maybe just getting ready to get started. You're actually willing to commit to actually starting your business. That's a huge jump. There's a good portion of you guys who are probably in that $0 to $10,000 a month. It's you. You are the business. Are you willing to commit to actually turning this into a business rather than just a one-man show? Some of you guys have broke past that first $10,000. Huge milestone, by the way. And you're below 20K. You're like, should I stay or should I go now? Maybe you're in the gauntlet at 20 to 40K. One of the most testing life cycles in a cleaning business. You guys, regardless of what stage that you're in, it's not all doom and gloom. Like I said earlier, there is a reward at the end of the life cycle. And Katie and I, like, we personally have grown 2 businesses through these stages, working on a 3rd one as we speak. And the process to go through these stages, it's simple. It's definitely not easy. It takes a commitment. It takes a team. It takes consistency. It takes accountability. It takes self-control. It takes humility. It takes courage. It takes conviction. But what makes it all possible is that, like, we actually have a system. We have a community. We have belief that it can be done. There's a lot of people in here who are inside the community. We have 100+ people inside the community who are going through these stages as we speak. Many people are on stage 5 and 6, 60 to 80K. There's a huge group of people in those stages. And we're starting to get more and more people in stage 6 too. And so for all the businesses who are in stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, all the businesses that are below 40K a month, yeah, tough, but like, it's possible. And it's actually the reason that Katie and I, we restarted this 30-day install challenge, was exactly for this reason. It's really to help business owners in these stages, like, start to install a system that gave you an opportunity to actually get out of these stages, right? Start relying on systems and stop relying on your gut, because your gut, especially in those stages, is all over the place. And when you stop relying on your gut and you start having a system, that's when you actually start to see what seem like crazy results. Like, how many of you guys in here, since you guys have joined the community, have doubled, tripled, or even quadrupled your business? Like, it's normal inside this community. And it's because of the systems that we use for the $1 million home cleaning businesses, right? And that is really what the 30-day install challenge is, an opportunity for us to take these $1 million systems and install them directly into yours, right? This is not a course that you just go buy and you go do it on your own. Like, this is actually, like, we do it with you. And in some cases, we actually will do it for you. And this 30-day install challenge, it's $1,000, okay? But right now, because we just launched it, we're actually doing it at an introductory rate of $699. Okay. And I've said this over lots of calls, but we just keep it at 5 people at a time, that we make sure that Katie and I can put our attention on these people who are in there. And right now we have 3 people in the challenge, which means I'm not very good at math. That means we have 2 spots left at the moment, right? And so once those 2 spots fill up, everybody else will go on the wait list. And then if a spot opens up, then we'll have more people come in. And I realized that I should have just charged more. That way we wouldn't have it fill up so fast, but is what it is. That'll be a lesson learned for the future. We'll just make the price higher in the future. But yeah, if you're a cleaning business owner who is below $40,000 a month and you're serious about getting out of those stages and you're willing to put in the work, like, that's who this 30-day install challenge is for. And the reason that Katie and I, that we made it through these stages, it wasn't because we had the most talent, or we got lucky for that matter either, right? We just actually made it through each stage because we actually figured out what worked. We figured out what didn't work, and we just created a system to be able to make it so we got through the next time faster. And so if you're ready to go to the next stage in your cleaning business, James will drop the link down below and you can go apply. So look forward to seeing you on the inside. Katie, any last words you have today on the 6 stages of growing a cleaning business from 0 to 100,000?
Yeah, all I can think about is I think there was at least 3 times growing our first location that I ended up in the fetal position crying, just saying, I want to quit. And time again, I realized the value of this cleaning business is so much more than the financial freedom and the time freedom. And we don't talk about this very much because everybody wants time freedom and financial freedom. But the true freedom that you get in this business is personal growth, because you cannot shortcut any of these stages The only way through them is there's no around, there's no skipping, there's no leapfrogging. You have to go through it. So I am like extraordinarily grateful that not only have we done it once, but we have had to repeat it to remind myself how important the personal growth journey is in growing this business.
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, guys, like the fact that you can start a cleaning business by just going and buying a vacuum and some supplies, getting an LLC, opening a bank account. You can figure out hurdles.
You can skip 10 years of education, like our ER doctor friend, and be stuck in a job for the rest of your life.
Yeah. I think that's the lesson we learned here is, like I said earlier, I wouldn't trade places with any of those doctors or lawyers because ultimately their income is capped on how many hours they work. And so it is very hard as you go through these as you go through these stages to learn how to leverage other people's time. But when you can do it, the amount of money that you make is just dependent on how systematized and how organized you can create your systems and put people into. And
then do you have the self-control to follow the plan?
Yeah. So thank you guys for being on here. Super appreciate you guys. Always, every Monday, I'm so grateful that you guys show up to this call. So grateful to see your guys' businesses growing. That's the ultimate way to pay back. Is yes, I love seeing you guys personally, but to see your guys' businesses grow, and for you guys, like when I make posts and what you guys' revenue is at, and I get to see your guys' growth, like that's what makes it rewarding, is to actually see the outcome of your guys' lives actually change. And whether I have any impact or a small impact, yeah, I'm just grateful to be a part of your guys' journey. And I do appreciate you guys letting us in on this. And yeah, and for all you guys who are inside the community, thank you guys for making this possible. And again, if you guys are not in the community yet, great opportunity right now with the 30-day install challenge. I'm not for sure how long we're going to run it for, but for right now, this is the problem that we're trying to solve. If you have that problem, we have a solution. Let's see if we can solve it together. So have a Monday, guys. Appreciate you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week on the Road to a Million Call.
Bye-bye.